So we're talking stacks. Now in Strong Nutrients, we're a small range of very specific supplements which are all really designed to do very different things, but they do work synergistically, and we get asked all the time, what can I take with, can I combine this with, and will there be overlapping? And the answer is they won't be overlapping. That's the purpose of the whole brand, is that you can take all of the products and they all do something different, but they do work often quite synergistically. They support one another. So what I wanted to talk today about was the lovely fat loss stack. I almost forgot for a moment what I was going to talk about. I need the memory stack next. The fat loss stack. So with the fat loss stack, we've got two main products in it, which are the lovely Amino Slim powder, and the Amino Slim capsules now would also work just as well, and our casein protein. Oh my gosh, I love these two products. They really do make a difference. So the Amino Slim powder, or capsules as I said, how it works. Amino Slim is very simply made up of primarily one main ingredient, which is L-ornithine. It's a single amino acid. We get it in an egg. So you're eating it all day, every day. I mean, it'd be rare that you wouldn't get any in it at all of L-ornithine. It's possible, but rare. However, all amino acids work differently in the body when you take them away from each other, when you take them on their own, isolated. And L-ornithine seems to help the body's natural process that occurs when you sleep or when you train. During high intensity training and weight training, there's a natural hormonal release. Our body naturally releases growth hormone, and that in turn seems to suppress or reduce our insulin. Now, any weight around the middle is your body releasing just that little bit too much insulin, and anything you can do to help stabilize that gets rid of the belly fat. So when you do training, like high intensity training, and while you sleep, naturally the body is supposed to be recalibrating, if you like, and insulin levels drop. So you should be burning fat, particularly off the tummy area, overnight already. But if you have fat around the tummy, this clearly isn't happening well enough, if at all. So what the Amino Slim does, it seems to get in behind that process, so you firm up a little bit faster, and above all, you lose inches, particularly around the waist and tummy, faster. And it really does seem to work. Now, I do always get people to check the inch loss rather than the weight loss, but you can lose weight, and I've had people lose as much as 7 to 10 pounds in the space of 3 to 4 weeks just by taking it. Now, obviously in an ideal world, and anyone who knows me will know, with my background, of course, I'm going to encourage training, I'm going to encourage nutrition, but even just taking these on their own seems to make a big difference. Now, we say we have a sleep stack for a reason. It's to enhance the result. And as I mentioned there, I'm obviously always going to encourage the nutritional aspect. So this is where the casein protein comes in. So the Amino Slim you'll be taking at night before bed, and if you do some training, you take it before you train as well. If it's the powder, you take half a teaspoon, just mix it in water, a little bit of water will do. It can have a little bit of an aftertaste. Now, some people don't notice it at all. For others, I find it as a very mild aftertaste. Some people say it's a bit stronger, it depends. But in all cases, if you use the powder, just simply put half a teaspoon, about that much water, and then have a little glass of water immediately after, and it's gone. Alternatively, just use the capsules, and you take 5 of those. I'm going to explain in a second exactly how to take it, but that will be before bed or before training. Your casein protein, now this comes in a bigger pot because I'm afraid it is more of a food. You're going to take a good scoop of it at a time, between half a scoop up to a scoop, which is the equivalent of anything from 1.5 to 3 dessert spoons. This you blend in anything you like. In other words, it could be water, it could be a nut milk, it could be just regular whole milk. And for those on a high fat plan, you might mix it in coconut cream or just regular cream. But you can put it in smoothies, you can put it in yogurts, you can mix it into porridge. Casein protein, oh, honestly, it is my all-time favorite for the simple reason that casein protein is very slow release, which means it digests really slowly, so your body gets lots of time to get all of the nutrients out of it into where it's supposed to go in the body. And because it breaks down slowly, there's no insulin rise, because actually proteins, you get fast release proteins. So there's some proteins that break down very quickly, and when they hit the bloodstream, they break into amino acids and sugars. The amino acids are all that building blocks that really help tone you up, firm you up, improve everything from skin to nails to hair, right down to your muscle tone. But there's also naturally occurring sugars in protein foods, and that can cause an insulin rise. Now this bit's important. So casein protein is very slow release, so the sugars, the natural occurring sugars, which are very little, but the natural occurring sugars go very slowly into the bloodstream, so there's very little of any insulin rise. Now that in turn makes all the difference in the world to helping reduce belly fat, ensuring you don't feel hungry, so you stay fuller for much longer. And the fact is so slow release, you do. Out of all the protein shakes I've ever tried, the pure protein shakes now that aren't mixed with lots of things, just pure protein, this keeps you the fullest, the longest, certainly in my experience. So you don't get as hungry, but indirectly it's also really good for reducing fat around the waist and belly. Protein itself is going to tone. Anything that improves the lean body mass actually improves your metabolism, because lean body mass or muscle tissue is very active. It's always moving and twitching, even when you're asleep. So it's always burning calories, whereas fat doesn't really do anything, it just sits there. So the combination of the protein, which will make you feel less hungry, in its own right, it's going to improve the muscle tone and your shape and indirectly help with the fat loss. And the Amino Slim, which will then help enhance that natural process where you burn fat that little bit faster, you tone up a little bit faster. Those two work superbly well together to get you into shape without making major changes everywhere else. Now, very briefly, how to take them. The Amino Slim, you take a half a teaspoon, up to a teaspoon actually. Now you can take more, but half a teaspoon in about that much water. Just mix it up, drink it back as you go to bed or before you do a high intensity training session. And that could be just a 5-minute, almost like sprint run if you like. You could just do a minute of squats and would even work before it. So either before bed or before you train, or both. With this product, it is super important not to eat for 2.5 hours before you take it. That's really important. If you eat, it's a bit like when you take you naturally find this main ingredient, as I said, in an egg. And when you take it with other foods, it won't have that impact. So you want it isolated, away from everything. So take it as you go to bed. Don't eat for 2.5 hours beforehand. You can drink water or herbal tea, but nothing with food value. Take it as you go to bed, and that's it. The protein powder, you can mix. I said you could actually put it, if you did eat porridge, you could actually put it into the porridge in the morning to get more protein out of the porridge. But it is a little drink and food in its own right. You blend it up. If you've got a good shaker, shake it up, otherwise blend it up. You can mix it in yogurt, you can mix it in kefir, you can mix it in any nut milk, preferably unsweetened, whole milk, no problem at all. Half a scoop up to a scoop, have it as a breakfast or a small meal like a lunch, or if you hit that point in the afternoon, and I find with clients this works super well, around about 3 and 4 in the afternoon, when sometimes you can get a dip and you just need that lift and you need some fuel to get you through to the evening. It works really well then, around about 3 or 4 o'clock. You can add some berries into it, frozen berries, so you can mix it up into more of a substantial smoothie if you like. I often take it as a dessert after an evening meal, because you can get the flavoured ones. It comes in chocolate, it comes in vanilla. The unsweetened vanilla is the pure, clean one that has nothing in it apart from a little bit of vanilla essence. So those two, Amino Slim, and which comes in a little tub like this, but it also comes in a capsule format, and your protein shake. Now those two can make all the difference in the world to helping you get into shape fast.